Man, oh man, it's that time, isn't it, Charles?
It is, man. Oh, Manischewitz. Hold on, let me put my earbuds in because it sounds like I'm probably muffled.
You were a little bit muffled. You can entertain spin plates for a second. No, I'm just kidding. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Awesome. All right. Well, good to see everybody this evening. Hope you guys are all doing absolutely amazing. It's our Stocks on the Rocks, and I'm actually traveling this week. And I went to log in, and my laptop said, "No, we're not going to work." So I'm joining from my phone. So we're gonna, when Corey gets back in, we'll talk about screen share, and he'll be able to share screen to cover whatever it is that we're going to talk about today and take a look at. I will tell you, I think there's some things worth talking about. Specifically, I found what happened with the Nvidia earnings pretty interesting. So I want to hear what your take is on that, brother. The Nvidia earnings came out, and then and then the Mara earnings came out today, and we saw what happened with that at the in the post market.
It's silly. I'm not even sure. I mean, I don't even know what to make of it. I mean, you look at Nvidia here and look at the results. They beat their earnings per share by 5.5% and beat revenue by 3%, which apparently $2 billion on the revenue side was just not enough.
Nope, not enough. Need
Two
more.
billion. And then you had Mara.
Can you pull up your charts?
Are you not seeing it?
No.
Let me share this different screen. I'm a mess today, dude. I didn't have any music on. Nothing.
I know it, dude.
Telling you. I mean, I had music on. I just didn't share the audio. Which is probably good because we keep getting flagged on YouTube.
Oh, that's
For
right. For copyright strikes.
Copyright strikes. So yeah, so Nvidia, right? I'm just on Trading View right now, real quick. Yeah, look at this. Huge
I mean,
surprise.
absolutely
Crushed it.
smoked today in price.
Crushed it. Crushed it. And then the stock is down 5.5%. Crushing it on revenue, crushing it on earnings, stock straight down. Now that just goes to show you, I think, how much relative weakness there is in the NASDAQ and tech in general. But then you come over here to Mara Holdings, which is in the cryptocurrency space, and they awful. I mean, talk about surprise. They were estimated to lose $1.18 a share. They lost 282% more. They were expected to lose 49 million. I'm sorry, to make 252 million. They made 49 million less. 20% surprise, 281% surprise. And after hours, just a little bit ago, the stock was trading at $10.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll see. We'll see where that thing opens up. But yeah, earnings, this is why it's very difficult / impossible to anticipate anything over earnings. But I do think that's the whole NVIDIA thing is a testament to just how relatively weak the NASDAQ is overall. Even though we did come down, we didn't really come down into anything. But what are we trading a little bit lower, about 90 points lower as of now in the after hours, in the overnight, in the Globex. Dow futures down almost 300.
Yeah,
So,
getting having a little tank job this evening.
there you go.
So,
But yeah, until we get another moving average crossover to the upside, I've got no 20 and 50 crossover to the upside. I got no reason to be bullish on anything really tech wise right now.
no, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week. I think when we talked about the sector rotation and about the sectors, moving from the weak sectors to the transitional sector, growth sectors to transitional sectors over to the ones that are the strongest in a weak market. And that is really, really what both the between the industrials and the materials rolling over. And now if you look for the last month, it's really been energy and consumer staples that have led us. And when you have energy and consumer staples as the lead, that's usually a rollover signal. But I mean, how much of a rollover? Who knows? But I wouldn't be shocked at all to see us get a little bit of a pullback at least.
Yeah, I think everything's been business as usual, normal expectations when you have industrials, materials, and energy and staples all basing ready for a break to the upside. With now we're actually seeing utilities actually outpacing the S&P as well. Um, Real estate's been outpacing, which is a defensive sector. The one thing that's throwing me right now that I'm on the lookout for, Chuck, is the fact that financials have been strong 3 days in a row. Not outperforming by any metric. However, neither were utilities back, a couple weeks ago, and now they are outperforming.
Sure.
If we see bank stocks and financials start to actually make a run for it, that's probably going to end up dragging some of these other growth sectors up with it, would be my guess, because that's usually the leading indication that we're rolling back into a risk on environment. So I'm on the lookout for that for sure.
Well, I will say this. I do want to see what the volume looks like on the last couple of days in technology, or excuse me, in financials, because I'm wondering if that's a bit of a, they'll call it a dead cat bounce, or a bit of a short covering rally coming out of that level.
Yeah, XLF has got slightly above average volume on the last 3 days. Obviously, the biggest
Right.
volume is on these huge red candles, but it's still above average. It's not, I mean, it's higher today than it was even yesterday. So
That's a
it
good
looks like
point. Yep.
increasing volume today, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and on the weekly time frame, we really haven't displayed very bearish behavior, but it's certainly far from bullish at this point. But oh my goodness, look at the candle on that weekly XLF.
Yeah.
That looks like it wants to try to make a run for this.
Right. I mean, that's a huge hammer. Please hammer. Don't hurt him.
Hammer time?
Hammer time. Please hammer. Don't hurt him.
Hammer time. What's up, Liz? I see you there. How you doing? So yeah, did you? I had to go. I had to pour something for myself here, Chuck. Been spinning a couple plates over here, balancing a couple things. But so for those of you, I don't know if you did much of an intro and like what office hours and what our stocks on the rocks is really about. Did you
I did.
talk about
I,
like?
I, I did. I did not. So it'd be great for you to go.
Yeah. So for those of you who have not been in a stocks on the rocks with us before, first of all, welcome. Glad to have you. We do this every other week. And we just kind of get together for an hour and we banter. Unlike our trading rooms, which we have 8 trading rooms a week, 8 live trading rooms where we get to banter as well. And generally speaking, if Chuck or myself or Herman is running the trading room, we come with trading ideas to talk about. And it's really about finding trades, analyzing trades, qualifying, disqualifying, and all that. It's really kind of instructor driven. This is an environment that is not driven by us. We come with nothing prepared to talk about. We come with maybe a
Literally.
cocktail. Yeah, we come with maybe a cocktail, maybe not, but maybe. It is stocks on the rocks. It is happy hour,
Well,
and
unfortunately I'm traveling, and I went to the hotel bar, and it's too busy. So I came with mini bottles of water.
oh, okay, that's fine. That's
That's
fine. Pour it in a
tragic.
glass and just. I think it
It
is
is a
tragic,
hundred.
right, Liz?
Is it 100% tragic?
Unbelievable.
I'm
Listen,
sorry
It
about
hurts.
that.
listen.
It
I'll
hurts my
take care
soul.
of it for you. That's probably more than enough tequila for 2 people.
Perfect.
I'll have my bartender here pour you one, Chuck, if that's of any help at all.
I love this plan. Pour one out for me.
There you go.
All right.
But yeah, so this is an opportunity for you guys to bring your questions, challenges, share trades you're looking at. You can share screen as long as you're adult about it. Don't be sharing stuff that's not, good for kids to see. You never know what kids are waiting in the background. And this is open to the public, so we invite anybody, even Traders Army non-members, to come hang out with us and talk about it. Maybe you're looking at Traders Army as a possible solution to your lack of education skill, or you want to get started in it. You don't know how to get started in it. We're very serious throughout the week, but on Thursdays, Stocks on the Rocks Thursdays, we're serious with a little cocktail, right? So
Are we very serious though?
we're pretty serious. We take what we do
Okay.
pretty seriously, I would say, Charles.
I know. I agree.
We take what we do very seriously.
So Carl put in there about the AI, using AI to help design a trading plan. So I'm glad that that was useful for you. We talked about that last week on the session.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I just had a student send me a 7-page trading plan. I was like, okay, that's great. You know, that's fine. You know, you got a lot of detail in here. That's great. I was like, how well do you think you're going to... I was like, are you going to read this trading plan every time you sit down in front of a trading screen? And he was like, no, I mean, do I have to? And I'm like, well, how are you supposed to follow it if you don't have some... How are you supposed to follow it if you don't read it? And he's like, oh, that's a good point. And so we went through an exercise on using ChatGPT. We plugged it in, and I prompted it with, you are a world-class trading coach of stocks and options, and I'm going to submit a trading plan, and you're going to analyze it for any lack of efficiencies, any discrepancies, any contradictions, and I want you to tell me if this plan has a future that is that results in a successful outcome. And any tweaks you may want to add to it, then go ahead and add to it. And it had some suggestions, and we made a couple things. And then at the end of it, I said, okay, this sounds great. Now, can you make me a 1-page checklist that I can follow as a daily routine? And it did. And it takes, a good majority of the legwork of simplifying it out of having to do it yourself. And if you're a very wordy person like me, don't make fun of me, Chuck. I am a very wordy person. Chuck knows it. And it's really helpful in taking all the words that I like to put on paper and use fewer words, which makes it easier to follow.
We talk about the having that plan. I actually did a short video today, which I think is going to probably go up on our social channels in the next couple of days, about falling in love with the process. Like, you can't fall in love with the result. You've got to fall in love with the process. Well, that means you have to have a written plan with a process that you can follow. And if your plan is so convoluted that you can't follow the process, it gets very difficult to follow that process. And you then wind up being almost I'll call it a slave to the process instead of just doing it because you wind up making such a complicated way to go through the markets.
Yeah. Difference between being an outcome-driven trader and a process-driven trader is one gets very, very, very emotional when the outcome isn't what people expected. And the process-oriented trader is just, well, I know that's going to happen sometimes. And so much of trading is psychological and building muscle in the psychological area of managing your emotions when you win trades, when you lose trades. I had a student recently who's applying for prop firm status, and he was applying this base hit strategy, slowly working his way up to getting to that point of getting funded, and he just needed this little bit more, and then he would meet his goals that the prop firm required, and he would swing for the fences on the very last trade and screw it all up, and it would send him right back down. And I'm like, that's outcome driven. You're so emotional about that.
Hey, let's talk a minute. I want to bring that up since nobody has questions yet. But by the way, please, if you have questions, type them in. I want to talk for a minute about prop firms, if that's okay, and why people might use them, what they are, the positives, the negatives, and kind of what your thoughts are on prop firms. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with a prop firm, the idea of a prop firm is that you put in some capital, and the capital that you put in is enough to hopefully get you started. And the idea is that they match you with some capital, and then you keep a portion of your earnings, not all of the earnings. So when you look at a prop firm, some of the prop firms do it where you put up a risk deposit, and that deposit is basically a small amount of money, which then gets you access to a larger amount. But the only risk you take is your small deposit because they're going to control you. Some prop firms charge a monthly fee, and that monthly fee is enough to get you in the door, and you've got to graduate. But the thing I've heard about a lot of these prop firms is the ones that charge that monthly fee and don't collect that risk deposit. What they're paying people out is they're paying people out basically some of those monthly fees, and people are never really trading live money. What have you heard about that, and what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I heard the same thing. One of our mentors actually had a phenomenal month and was due a payout of roughly 30 grand. And they paid it, but they canceled all of his accounts. And I was like, why do they do that? Because I didn't understand this concept that you're talking about at first. I thought once you get funded, you're funded with a live trading account. I'm like, why would they cancel your account? Because if they paid you 30 grand, that means that they made a bunch of money themselves. And he's like, no, not true. He's like, the problem is if you make too much money, they're only paying you out of other subscriptions. They're not paying you out of real profits. You're actually still only trading a virtual account. And when you make virtual money and they pay out real money, that real money comes from other subscribers who are not trading well, and they're just paying the subscription fee. Yeah, there is sim funding and live funding. Yeah, this one was a sim funding, but they were paying out live. And I want to say, John, I'm 95% sure it was Apex. 95% sure. It was that one. I'd have to double check with him.
And I think for people that want a way to get started, it's better than nothing, right? I think for people that want a way to get started, it's
100%.
better than nothing. But there are also prop firms that you make the money and they don't pay you out. Like they you've got the money, but it's not real money in there. And so different ones do it differently. We actually used to work a lot with Top Step. We haven't talked to them in a long time. Their CEO moved on, and we had a lot of students that passed the Top Step combine that did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually when our students go into a prop firm combine, they do really, really well. I've heard good things about Take Profit Trader, but I don't know enough to make a recommendation one way or the other.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about them. And being an option trader, me personally, solely trading options, I only know of one options prop firm, and that's our friend Rob Reinhold over at Maverick Trading. He has a Forex prop firm, and he has an options prop firm, which is it's real money. It's his money, and you, like Chuck mentioned, you put up a performance bond, and that's your risk capital.
That's the name, performance bond. I couldn't remember exactly what he called it.
Performance bond. Yeah, you put up like a $2,000 or a $5,000 performance bond. Maybe it's Forex is 2,000, options is 5,000, but then it'll leverage you out 5x, so you can trade using 25 or 50,000. Some, I forget what the numbers are, but yeah, he requires a performance bond because it's actually his capital. You know, it's his money. I say his money. I mean, it's firm money, but it's really his money at the end of the day. Which is interesting because when I was talking to him recently, he's like, yeah, sometimes when I see traders doing things that are outside of my comfort zone, I'll go in on Friday and hedge that trader's risk because it is my money. You know what I mean? You know, he was like, it's a little much for the weekend, so let me go ahead and hedge that and offset that delta going into the weekend, and then I'll remove it on Monday if everything's in the clear. But yeah, that's the difference between risking actual money and someone's actual money, and you know whose it is, and then just sim money, things like that.
Well, and that's the only options prop firm that I know of.
Only one that I know of, yeah.
And I feel like that's a good way for people that want to get into options. I want to get into it. I think that options are a way to go, but I don't want to put 30 grand into an account. Okay, put 5 grand and that's your performance bond. And then I think you keep what, 80%, 75%? I don't know what the number is.
I think depending upon where you're, what level you're at, because they've got several levels of prop status, anywhere between 75 and 90%.
Okay. All right. So John says Take Profit is very simple rules. The only bugger, it popped off my screen. Top Step is very simple rules. The only bugger after you pass is the trailing drawdown. However, once drawdown gets the starting balance, you're good. Okay. So yeah, so that's the one that I've heard that I've seen that I've seen to has pretty good feedback, and so I'm not familiar with them. Like I said, I can't make a recommendation one way or the other. I just wanted what everybody's thoughts were on them and how they've used them. So,
yep. I think they're great, especially for people with limited capital.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Very timely discussion tonight, actually. I had a text from a friend of mine yesterday asking about True Trade. Have you guys heard of True Trade?
Mm-mm.
Never heard of
No,
them.
well, I haven't either. So basically, it seems like an AI trading for you with someone else's money, where you
That sounds
keep
like a great idea.
70 to 90% of the gains. A friend of mine just approaching me. Have you heard about it? Cursory, this was his comment. A cursory look at the online reviews seem a bit mixed, but definitely more weighted on the positive side. My feeling is if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. I haven't dug into the details of it yet, but I was
Well,
just
the
curious.
website, I will tell you, I just went to the website, Liz, and it says, don't have time, question mark, don't have experience, question mark,
Yes,
doesn't matter.
right. Okay. Yes. Okay.
No,
Uh,
don't have time, don't have experience, doesn't matter. It's like,
right.
We'll
Right.
take
doesn't
care
it?
of it.
Y-
I don't know.
y-
I mean,
my question wasn't so much around True Trade
Yeah. Yeah, I
themselves,
just
but
don't know
more
about
around
them.
the concept of AI trading with prop money. I mean, that just sounds leverage on leverage on leverage to me, but I don't know.
I have to imagine, and I have not cracked the code, and I really haven't done a lot of research on it, but I have to imagine there is going to be a world where if you're trading an asset class that, well, first of all, the AI platform would have to have access to real time trading data, which is not cheap, number one. You would, I don't, can't imagine you ever pulling that off in options because there's so many different option positions and strike prices and all that that
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't probably pull
assuming
that off.
this is day trading, but
My
I don't
guess is
know.
it's stocks or futures or forex or crypto even maybe. And you have to and actually see, yeah, crypto stocks. That's exactly what it is. It's all four of those. Just look at the image on the website on the app, Chuck. It just says futures, stocks, crypto, forex. So it's no derivatives. It's just the actual contract or stock itself or forex pair. Um, if you can get real time access and data, I would have to imagine that there is going to be a world at some point, if not now, and I have no idea what True Trade is, that you can, if you know exactly, like to the letter, how your strategy is supposed to make money, there is going to be a world where AI can probably do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I don't know
Yep.
how good it is now, though, because I don't know what you would have to pay to get real time futures, stocks, crypto, and forex data. I
Well,
know
that's
that's
the
not a
thing.
small number.
I mean, my feeling is that for any of these services that claim to be bulletproof, there's going to be a whopping fee, and the only reason they're going to stay in profit is because they're going to have an edge on you. I
All about
mean,
your edge.
why would they be offering a service that you're going to pay for and they're going to lose on?
Well, and I will tell you, the prop firms do make sense to me if they keep 70, or if they keep 10% of the profits and pay out 90%, that makes a tremendous amount of sense to me. If they can continue to do that, the question is, what are they paying that out of, and is it actual live capital? And if
Some
the software, and if there is a software that's that good, eventually somebody with more money will make a better software, and it will not be that good any longer.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a question that we can't really answer right now is how good is the software going to get where you have an AI platform that just does it all for you. I don't think we know the answer to that yet. I do think that may be coming. But if you're going to design an AI platform as a trader yourself, you have to very clearly be able to state exactly what your entry and exit rules are. Um, which, is probably not that hard if you're using a bunch of indicators to trigger an entry, and then not a bunch, but even one. One indicator triggers an entry. One indicator triggers the exit for profit. One indicator triggers the exit for stop loss, right? And I think if you can define a strategy to the letter that has an edge, then I think you could pull that off with some sort of AI. How that plugs into your to your own trading platform, I have no idea. Like I trade with Thinkorswim. Chuck, you trade with Thinkorswim. We also trade with Interactive Brokers. How does your AI program platform connect to your broker to make those trades for you? Or is somebody like True Trade saying, send us your money, put it in our account, and our AI will trade it for you? That seems a little suspect.
My guess is it's that. I don't know, but I've never used a prop firm. But am I not right in saying that even though you can, in theory, be making money if it were your own account, if you violate the prop firm's rules by having a bigger drawdown or some violation of some quirky rule they've got, that you can get kicked out of their accounts?
Yep, that's very common, which I'm okay with, right? I understand if it's their money, they're going to have certain rules around it.
Yeah, I know that. I know because I talk to Rob at Maverick all the time. I know that if you start to have drawdowns and start to and they start to see that you're not following the plan that you submitted and they approved you on, then yeah, you're gonna lose your funding and go back into a coaching program to try and regain your status, right? Or if you blow your account, to John's point, if you blow your account, you simply press, purchase a reset. And in Rob's case, you got to put up another performance bond. In an Apex or something like that, then you have to, go back in and continue to pay those subscription fees and requalify.
So basically, the reason they're able to pay you out is because, I don't know, whatever percentage of their prop traders fail. But
probably most.
Exactly.
Probably
so
most.
It's the reset fees or the performance bonds paid by the majority that fail that's paying out the people that win.
Right.
So,
and that's the sim trading account trap that, and John said, hey, maybe your guy broke a rule or something and that's why he got his funding taken away. He didn't make it sound that way, but that's entirely possible. But yeah, if they're paying out on subscriptions and not paying out on actual profits, that's kind of a little bit of a pyramid.
Well, I put it in the chat earlier. Aren't you robbing Peter to pay Paul?
That is the definition of a pyramid, right?
Actually, it's worse than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if there is real money behind it, I'm okay with it. I think that's really the question: is there real money behind it, or is it paid out of subscription? So, and I genuinely don't know the answer on all of them, and I don't pretend to. And so because I've not used one either. I know that was one of the things. The Top Step had two different versions, one which was paid out of sim and one that was paid out of real live money. And once you pass the combine, then you kind of had the option of where you wanted to go. So
eval fee or evil fee? Eval fee or evil fee? Oh, one letter makes all the difference.
Yes, it's like when they punctuation matters, right?
Let's eat, comma, grandma. Let's eat, no comma, grandma.
Well, I mean, even like a colon matters, right? Like, don't eat your friend's salad or don't eat your friend's colon. I mean,
I've got one that's way worse. I got one that's really bad.
Let's not do that. That's a terrible idea.
Really bad. But I won't say it in here. I'll tell you, Chuck. I got a really bad one.
Well, John, you're right. If you can pass and they pay you, it doesn't matter where the money comes from. But that's where the money comes from is that, like in the example of the one that they turned it off, if you wind up costing them too much money because you're too good because it's not live money, then that's why they turn it off. I think that more than likely the mentor who had it turned off was because he made too much. And it's no different than you being a really, really good blackjack player and counting cards, and the casino eventually says, "Okay, time for you to leave."
Yep, I think that's exactly what it is sometimes, right? Especially in the sim accounts. But I also agree with John.
I think
It's
in live
excellent.
money, that's not the case.
It would never be the case with live money ever. I can't imagine that ever being the case. Because the more money you make as a trader, the better your skill, the more money the firm makes. So
Right.
that's truly more of an institutional model than a prop model, right? But I do agree with John. Prop firms offer excellent practice environment without putting real capital at risk, and I think that's the big one. Especially if you're just getting started out in trading, I think that's a fantastic way for them to create a disciplined trading environment that's evaluated on your performance and ability to manage risk and actually make money, not just manage risk, but actually make money and hit performance targets.
Agreed. And
I love
I'm
that
not
idea.
I'm not anti-prop firm in any way. I really do. I genuinely don't have enough detail. So thank you, John, for filling us in on some of that stuff.
Yeah, the idea of the prop firm, I'm way more for than not. Certainly, if you're limited in capital, or if you have, because you can't trade your own money because you just don't have enough capital to justify trading a specific asset class. I am way more for prop trading than not for prop trading, by far.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
All right, great.
All right. Well, good discussion. What other questions does anybody have in the chat? What do we have? F in the chat for me.
Before we wrap that up, just a quick question. Does anybody have any stats on either the proliferation of prop firms or the rate of decline of prop firms? I mean, are they becoming more of a thing? Are some of them going under? Do we know?
I don't have much information about it. It seems like I see more of them now than I used to, but that would all be, that's just that, circumstantial, or not circumstantial. What's the word I want to use? I forget that. I'm not good at words. That's just, there's no evidence behind it.
Yeah, I'm just hearing more and more about them, but I don't know.
Anecdotal.
Okay.
Anecdotal evidence.
I don't know whether any are going under, or if it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with John. I think it's getting very popular. There have been some that have come and gone. There have been a number of them that have come and gone, and some of them that have been come and gone are because they were not doing it the right way.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to trigger an SEC investigation on your firm. And how your business practice is. But, ultimately, all the ones that I've really heard of, they're still around, but I haven't heard of a lot because I haven't done a ton of investigating. Well, the SEC was involved, I think it was SEC. I remember Rob at Maverick went through a big SEC investigation, and he provided boxes of information and paperwork and paper trails and all that kind of stuff. And they were like, okay, you guys are good. We'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. So someone was involved. Someone was looking at them.
Yeah.
And I believe he said the SEC. I don't know if maybe it was FINRA. It was one of the two. One of the two.
I think it was probably FINRA. FINRA is the one that would make sense. Yes.
FINRA makes more sense now that I think about it. But regulators came after him and were like, show us what you're doing. And he's like, here you go. Sort through all that. And he keeps very, very detailed records, and a lot of them. So I'm sure that some regulatory agency, if it's not FINRA, if it's not SEC, it's the FTC for sure. One of those three-letter government agencies is going to keep tabs on someone who's gaining market share.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to want to know what's happening and how's it affecting the clients. And I don't know if SEC would be involved in that, or if it would just be FINRA.
Probably FINRA, now that I mention it. Yeah, now that you Now that we talk about it, FINRA, FTC, and FINRA will probably be the two biggest.
Well, and yeah, FINRA definitely. I think financial institutions, whatever that is, regulatory authority, would probably be the one. Yeah, I think it'd be FINRA and FTC more than, because FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, really would go after things like profit guarantees and earnings claims and all of that stuff.
Right.
SEC, I guess, is more around individual company reporting and stock market manipulation. So
Right. That makes sense. Yep. Yeah. So FINRA and FTC. Apex is complicated rules. Take profit is very simple rules. Trade day has real people behind it. All right. Nice.
good. Yeah, like I said, I genuinely don't know, but I think it's worth investigating for those of you that are currently trading and you want an avenue that is out there that maybe you've not thought of and you don't want to risk your own capital, or you want to risk less of your own capital, is a great way to put it.
That's my favorite part. Little to no capital of your own.
All right.
Yeah.
So just another angle. What is the benefit of using a prop firm where you're using little to your own capital to get comfortable with your own trading style versus just trading in sim until you're comfortable?
Well, I've got my thoughts. In my experience, depending upon who you're sim trading through, like I sim trade a bunch of option positions in Thinkorswim.
Oh, your fills are probably bad, are they?
The fills aren't even realistic. Not even
Fills are
realistic.
Perfect. They're amazing.
They're perfect. They're perfect. They work every time. And I'm like,
never
no
move the
way that's
market.
getting filled. No way that's getting filled in a real environment. Right? So I would rather, like, I remember the day where we had micro option contracts, and that was a great idea for practice because it's real money. The problem is these brokers charge the same commission as a real option contract,
right? Okay.
and your commission structure was shit. And
back then, commissions, like I remember on on Options Express, my commission was $15 for each leg, in and out.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Oh yeah, my very first trade I ever made in my entire life on Apple. I made $50 on the trade. It was 20 years ago, Chuck. You probably remember this because we were doing our go-to meetings back then.
Yep.
I made $50 on the trade. It was 10 shares, and I had to pay $26 in commissions round trip to make the trade. 50% of that.
My first was a Morgan Stanley trade. I bought a call option. I made $45 on the trade, and I spent 30 in commissions, 15 in, 15 out on one contract.
It was ridiculous. So then when they started the mini option contracts, which represented a 10 share multiplier, not 100, I was like, oh, this is going to be great for practice. It's going to be awesome. But the commissions are the same. And I'm like, well, this is awful. And that's why you no longer see them.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
So, but yeah, I think there's a psychological difference between trading either for sure your own real money, or even a little bit of your own money, or even if it's someone's real money or perceived real money. If it's no real money at all, like it's just sim across the board, I think people psychologically definitely trade differently if it's not real money or even not their own money. And so that's why prop firms who are trading real money need to see a real plan with real risk management and need to approve you to do so. Yeah, real rules that that they see as, I could, like I remember talking with a mentor, another mentor at a prop firm, and he was like, our rules, our rules are you submit your trade plan. If your rules make you money and you can prove that and you have a track record, great. Like, your rules don't have to be the same rules as my rules, because sometimes you guys use things that I couldn't trade. I couldn't trade your rules, and you might not be able to trade my rules, but if you can follow your rules and your rules make money, we'll fund you. Right. So so I think it's about the sustainability of a rule-based trading environment that you have to prove in a prop environment, regardless of the psychological impact. And I think that's probably the most important thing, is the psychological impact of trading real money or someone else's money is different than trading paper money. Never mind the shitty feels, like the not shitty, perfect feels you're going to get on paper.
Perfect.
Which is perfect feels. I remember doing some SPX option trading, going, oh, if I get filled on this, this would be great. And on paper, it fills immediately, and I'm like, whoa.
And
okay.
your profit potentially, and your profits is like 100%. You're right, or you make money every time.
Well, it's not that I made money every time, but the fill was too good to be true. And then I go into my live account and try to get the same fill, and nowhere near filling, not even close. I'm like,
that's
yeah,
really
that's not
bad
real.
that's really bad on like ratio back spreads, especially bad on ratio back spreads.
And any credit spread on SPX, always. You'll always get the best fill. You'll always get the mid, no matter what.
Right.
But yeah, true with really, like especially the ratio stuff. Yeah, for sure. Stock repairs, ratio back spreads, ratio spreads. You'll always get filled at the best possible price. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
I hate paper trading for that reason, honestly.
Yeah, I think paper trading is a trap for most people. I think that you want to do it for a limited period of time to learn your platforms and the mechanics around what buttons to push. But once you understand your platform, the mechanics of what button to push, even if you're only doing 10 shares at a time, or you're doing one contract, or you're doing a micro futures account, or you're with a prop firm, I think you want to get in with live capital as soon as you can.
As fast as possible. That makes sense. And John, thanks for the additional commentary here in the chat box. Recommends
man, we appreciate you.
Yeah, entry fee is all you risk. Very true. If you're going to pass, you have to be just as disciplined as a real account. You're getting paid for your actions. If you paid for eval, that is real money. There you go. Right? So yeah, if you can stay disciplined, you can get funded.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can stay disciplined, you can have a real shot at a trading career. That goes back to your first statement, Chuck. Process-based, not outcome-based.
That's it. What's my process? Am I going to follow a process? You know, it's almost like I cannot stand, every fiber of my being hates the New England Patriots. Sorry, champ. I see Michael's on here.
Oh, I was going to say, I saw a champ in here.
Every fiber of my being hates the New England Patriots. But I have to respect Bill Belichick when he was the coach of the Patriots, and he was like, we can't control whether we win or lose the game. We can only compare. We can only worry about the process, and we can prepare the best way we can prepare, and the outcome is the outcome. Like he would say that on him and Nick Saban from Alabama. The sport there is football, Corey. It's
football.
It's
you mean a sport?
Ball.
Wait, so that's a sport you play with your feet? Is that a sport Kevin, you play with your feet?
Kevin, I don't need to hear it from you either, young man. I don't need to hear it from you. Don't need to hear it from you. Keep your bean town.
You lost me at naming a sport you play with your hands. Come on. Get your shit straight.
My favorite was many, many years ago. Corey's son signed up to play soccer.
Oh, good God.
He sends me a picture of his son sitting on the ground in the soccer goal, and he said, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree."
It's true. It's very true.
Oh, it's one of my favorite stories.
It is very true. And that still holds water today. However, my son is on tour with a Bonham from Led Zeppelin's Descent. So at least he's good at something.
He's good at a lot of things, and he sat in the goal, which is awesome.
He's like, I'm not playing this shit. Give me a bass. Give me a guitar.
Give me a guitar.
Give me a guitar.
Yeah, but that's how long you and I have known one another. Is that we've known each other since our children were born.
Oh, we didn't have children when we met.
When we met, you had just had cash, like just barely.
Are you sure just had, or maybe?
No, maybe not. No,
maybe Nicole.
No,
I think Nicole was pregnant with cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had no kids back then. Boy, that was a long time ago. And here we are.
Way. I know. We had hair. Actually, you still have hair.
I do have hair.
Yeah, don't rub it in.
It's, yeah, I mean, well, whatever.
Well, you look significantly younger than me, so it's fine.
I don't think that's true. I just have hair. That's the only difference. I have hair.
Oh.
You actually
all right,
work out
well-
and get exercise. I sit in this chair all the time. My hips hurt. Your hips hurt?
No, my shoulder does. So
There you
I've
go.
been doing this all day today. All
I
right,
am
well,
actually
anybody else?
older than you. I am actually older than you, so I should hurt a little bit.
You should. You should.
I should. At
All right, so
51,
anybody-
you should just start to hurt by default.
Anybody else got any questions? I mean, we talked a lot about prop firms tonight. I don't see any more questions in the chat. I see people.
I've just got a random question. Anybody got any thoughts as to what is eventually going to get us out of this range we're trading in the indices?
Yes.
Is it
a bombing of Iran?
okay? All right, that was going to
That's
be my
one.
thought too. A bombing of Iran.
So,
Yeah, I don't know if there's
I-
anything else right now. Like, what's in the pipeline right now? Anything? Nothing.
I don't know. I mean, I thought maybe Nvidia today or
Earnings
last night
didn't do
would've-
it.
Nope.
We went
No.
through all entire earnings season, and the market went nowhere.
I can't imagine like PPI tomorrow is going to do anything. I'm not really sure. I don't know what it's
Well,
going to be.
You know, the Fed rate cuts in May do bring up a point. Like if those rate cuts get pushed off again, those rate cuts
Yeah.
get pushed off, that may break us down. I don't think the rate cuts happening would break us up all that much, but I think the rate cuts being pushed would break us down. I think that's a possibility.
So when's the
Maybe,
next
but-
one? The next one is March 18th. Is that right?
I think that
Uh,
one's already priced to go nowhere.
I don't think there's anything expected until June, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think June is when they're expected.
And that's
Yeah.
even maybe on the fence. Maybe
Yeah.
slightly tilted in favor of a cut, but not it's not a done deal.
Yeah, March has no favor for an ease, 4% for an ease. April has 18% of an ease, and you're right, June has nearly 50% ease.
Right.
Yeah, but I could see that
And
being swung.
July has almost 70% chance of an ease.
So I think pushing that would do it. And remember, the economy always lags the market, right? So the economy will still be expanding. And so that expansion of the economy could cause the Fed to push off rate cuts, which would then be what causes the market to fall, right? The economy
Yeah.
always drags the market.
That makes sense.
So awesome.
In
Well, that's all I think
in
I
other
have for
words-
tonight.
In other words, who knows?
Who knows? I got nothing.
Trade
I'm
the
out.
market you see, not
That's
the
it.
market you feel.
Trade the market that is, not the
Which-
one you want.
Which, Liz, I know you're great at that, but I wish we had a crystal ball in figuring that out. But trade the market you
I know-
see, not what you feel.
I don't know.
I know
I
lots of
mean,
traders.
I'm sitting on more cash now than I probably have been in ages. Every time my short puts are expiring worthless, I just don't see anything else to get into.
I think what
mean,
you should do is
obviously,
invest in whiskey for your husband.
Well, funny you should say that. I just got a signal from opposite the room that his drink was empty, but
Well,
unfortunately,
he's not wrong. Let him know that I think it's a good idea for you to go buy him a collector barrel of whiskey.
Barrel, a whole barrel.
I have to buy you a collector's barrel of whiskey, apparently. He said he likes the idea. He's all in.
Perfect.
I love it. I love it.
All right,
Awesome.
thanks, guys. I guess
All
I've
right,
got to
well,
go
we're
to
gonna-
bed and a
we're-
duty.
We're going to hop off of here. Hey, if you guys are not Traders Army members, please feel free to go to TradersArmy.com. We'd love to have you come on and join us in our regularly scheduled programming. Even if you're not, we still love you. Keep coming into these sessions we have every other week, and good to be on with you. Sorry that I'm on my phone, but I'm still here with you, man.
Listen, love it. Appreciate you being here,
All
Chuck. We've missed you
All right,
for
guys.
many weeks.
Baseball schedule is a little bit easier for me right now
I
at
love
the
it.
moment.
I love it.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
everyone.
All right.
All right, you guys.
Peace out.
Be good.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.